I am in trouble. I am at the Peru customs border checkpoint on the border between Ecuador and Peru, and I have been summoned to the head shed to talk to the chief. I overstayed my temporary import permit on the doctor. I overstayed it by about 10 days. And I have some explaining to do. Find out in this episode if I get fined, if I have to pay a bribe, if I just get some smackdown, or if they just impound the motorcycle. So here we go. Good morning and welcome back to the channel. And the adventure begins today with the necessary repairs on the Suzuki DR650. I blew the clutch. Yeah, blew the clutch on the way up the coast. Lost sixth, lost fifth, lost fourth, lost third. I tried drafting behind trucks just to give me a little more oomph to use the drag in my favor. Then lost first, and then I coasted to a taxi stand. And then I asked the taxi drivers if they had a friend who had a van. They did. He came 40 minutes later. We took the seats out of the van, we put the motorcycle in, and then came to my little hotel here, where it has been sitting for a few weeks while I took a break. But first, I'm gonna get a cardio workout because the motorcycle is in a secured parking location, not on street level, but 3 levels down there.
Gearhead, tips, tools, and tank top.
I got an awesome heavy-duty clutch and springs from ProCycle. I will also make the infamous repair of the neutral sending bolts. Since I've got the clutch cover open, I'll do that. I am going to replace the rear taillight with an aftermarket taillight. This is the second taillight that has been cracked and broken from the rough ride. It seems like there's an issue with the stock taillight of the Suzuki DR650. Anyway, broke 2 of those. Gonna get that taken care of, and I'm gonna put in 2 new spark plugs, do an oil change the filters, and then we should be good to go.
Gearhead, tips, tools, and tank top.
Today, I am going to the Amazon jungle on a special mission. Sadly, I cannot do this on my motorcycle, the DR650, because of road closures. So, I need to go to the airport and catch a flight. I am on a special mission to this part of the country to meet with civic leaders, governmental leaders, and church leaders about the problem of human trafficking in the region. My destination is Puerto Maldonado, a place that was once a sleepy town in the heart of the jungle, up until gold was discovered, that is. The precious mineral was discovered here about 14 years ago. And since that time, this town and the region has been booming. The discovery of the minerals and gold have been a benefit to the poverty-stricken people of the region. But sadly, there's a dark side to it, and I want to talk to you about it. Due to the lure of the jobs and the potential of striking it rich, thousands of men have migrated to this part of the country. Some mine illegally and take precautions. Others, many hundreds, and perhaps thousands, mine illegally and are destroying the rainforest and poisoning the rivers. These bad actors, however, don't stop at ruining the jungle. With newfound wealth, they are able to indulge in vices previously beyond their reach. Young girls, by the hundreds, have come here looking for a way to make good money, and others are here looking for fast money. Either way, most girls are conscripted into prostitution, or at least they're given a way to engage in it. How is it possible to tackle a job or understand the nature of the problem without some basic facts or metrics? With this in mind, I partnered with a local congresswoman named Marita to find out. Our first stop is at the mayor's office, and from there we make official visits to the prosecutor's office and the chief of the military. Everyone says there's a problem here, and everyone acknowledges that it is bad, and it is rampant. But very few arrests are ever made, and if they are, it goes unreported in the news. It's like I'm chasing a ghost. After visiting the government officials, I went on to pay a visit to pastors and church leaders. The problem of human trafficking is not just an economic problem. It is a spiritual problem. In order to address the problem more and fully understand it better, I must engage the churches and civic leaders to hear their thoughts about this issue. They will be instrumental in helping rescue those who have been trafficked and raising awareness about the problem locally. And after many meetings, I was alarmed to discover there are no studies locally, regionally, or nationwide addressing this subject. To add to the complexity, there are over 2 million Venezuelan refugees in the country, and most of them are illegal. Many hundreds or thousands have entered into the business of prostitution, most of which are trafficked. After my journey to the Amazon and through the country of Peru, it became apparent to me that the first thing we needed was a nationwide study on the problem of human trafficking and modern-day slavery in order to understand what we're dealing with and the problems that need to be addressed. With this in mind, I hired an analyst to begin the first national study on the problem. This is a small but important step to begin raising awareness on a national level. I want to thank those of you who've contributed to this cause and who have prayed for my success and safety. I could not take such a bold step in starting a project without it. I owe you a debt of gratitude, as do all of those who in the future will be spared a life in slavery. Good afternoon from the Peruvian Amazon jungle and the village of Inferno in the province of Madre de Dios. This community here is a tribe called the Aceja tribe, and at the present moment there are no photos of them. I took a 1-hour taxi ride. We found this village, and in a few minutes I'm going to be talking to the chief and hopefully capturing some photos of this remote people group. So let's go to the local store here and see if we can buy some water or tea. Buenos tardes.
Bueno.
Yeah.
She's one of the first person living here.
Oh.
Yeah, she's part of this community. She still speaks Aceja.
Oh,
Yeah.
Aceja.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is her name?
Francisca.
Francisca. Okay. Teach me to say hello. How are you?
Okay.
¿Cómo está?
Achaja Amian.
Amiani.
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 ¿Cómo está?
¿Cómo
Ajá.
estás? Achaja
Achaja.
Amiani.
Achaja Amiani.
Amiani.
Aha, that's Aceja for
Aceja.
hello, how are you? Fantastic. We're learning some language.
Yeah.
¿De dónde viene esto todavía?
Ay, qué lindo. ¿Y cuánto está?
Esto trae del Monte Alto.
Ya.
Beautiful basket. Strong.
10 minutos.
What do you think of when the topic of adventure motorcycles arise? Naturally, we all think of the great outdoors, perhaps somewhere in the mountains where unimproved dirt roads take us to places where we dream of. We think of being able to access and experience locations off the beaten path. I think of a lone tent set in a location with an epic view of the sunset. Now here is the reality. In order to get to these beautiful places, everyone, including me, needs to travel mile upon mile through cities, gridlock, traffic, stoplights, and endure miles and miles of boring landscape in order to get to the final and epic destination.
Can I tell you something, a little bit about the tires that I have? The Motos, the GPS, Motos, I think that's what they're called. What a fantastic tire. I almost have 6,000 miles on these tires, and it looks like I can get another 2,000 miles easily. I am not sponsored by Motos, but they're my favorite tire. I've tried the Bridgestones, the Michelins, the Peru 3s, and these are by far the best, without question, hands down.
Adventure riding of a different sort is really about to begin for me. When I began the long march north on my Suzuki DR650, I had no idea what I was going to encounter, and little did I know the political upheaval in the country would spill out to the Pan-American Highway. Soon enough, I found myself engulfed in the chaos of massive roadblocks and closures. Some parts of the highway were blocked for days and days on end. Thousands of trucks on both sides of the road are at standstills, and there's no easy way to get around them or through them. The protesters strategically placed the roadblocks at natural choke points, such as bridges, so that no one could circumvent the roadblocks. The road on both sides were blocked in many places, and in order to make progress, I had to weave between trucks for many kilometers just to get to the impassable roadblocks, consisting of burning tires, rocks, thorn bushes, and tree limbs. Near the city of Trujillo, I was trying to pass through a huge roadblock, and suddenly the steel belts of tires that had been burned got caught up into my rear sprocket. The only way to get over the roadblocks or through them. And over the next 3 days, I had to weave my way and talk my way through the barriers. Most people let me through, others not so much. But with a little kindness and smiles and compliments, I was able to get through even the most difficult roadblocks. I am now finally on my way to Ecuador.
Frontera, Peru, Ecuador. And here we go. I don't know what to expect, honestly. Here it is. The official Ecuador. Yeah. Bienvenido a la República del Ecuador. Ecuador. Woo! I got to get my papers in Ecuador. Okay, so technically speaking, I'm out of Peru. So I don't know what's going to happen next. We will find out very shortly. Little way to check vehicles. Okay, aduanas, CBAF. That's where I want to go, is CBAF. I'm going to park over here and do the explanations. Wish me luck.
Goodbye.
I am officially free from Peru and have the official permission to enter Ecuador with my motorcycle and my person. And my final destination today is Cuenca. Apparently, it's a town in the foothills of the Andes that has amazing history and should take me about 4 hours to get there. And looking at about 4 o'clock. I am now in Ecuador. I'm a free man. I was given a 2-week permission to stay. I don't anticipate staying that long because I need to make it to Colombia. Oh, here's another aduana stop. Probably going to ask me for papers and whatnot. Buenos tardes. Hola, señor. Oh, okay, let me pull over here. Ma'am. Buenos días. Okay.
No se olvide de entregar esto cuando salga por cualquier frontera.
Sí.
Por cualquier frontera entrega eso.
Okay. Gracias. All right. All is good in Ecuador. Bienvenidos a Ecuador. One of the things I immediately noticed was a complete change in the ecoclimate. There are banana trees here and just what looks like a tropical rainforest. When just a few kilometers to the south in Peru, it's a desert, a sheer desert. So what a drastic change. Well, I still am in shock. This looks like Europe, not South America. My hostel is right up here, about 4 kilometers, so let's get going. Funny sounding little name, Cuenca. My clutch is working very well. Thank you, ProCycle, for sending me a great product in a timely manner. Cuenca. This town has quite a bit of history, and I can't wait to find out. I was in limbo the last couple of days in Peru. I didn't know which way it was going to go. But I survived the nightmare, the bureaucratic nightmare. The drivers here are courteous. In Peru, it was almost like everyone's masculinity was at stake on the road. And they drove like 100% machismo. They didn't want to let me in. They would try to edge me out. But what exactly, I am not quite sure. Bruce Lee said, like water. Be like water in the traffic. Just flow. Try to figure out the average speed and just go, oh, look at this church. How beautiful is this? A railway line, light rail, running through the middle of town. How amazing is this? I want to move here. Right? Okay, according to the directions, it should be just on the left here. Go over here and look. Santa Lucia house. La Casa Santa Lucia. Right here. I'll go there. Oh, I see.